search, here's the restaurants, here's the maps. That to me, that next level search would be while you're talking, it's bringing up the things that it's like, "Hey,
Right?
can you give me a list of these, restaurants?" Cool. So you have the little blue thing at the top, and it's giving you the list of restaurants. Okay, and then follow with me. Okay, these restaurants that you now see on screen, could you show me blah, blah, blah? Sure. And then, like, it's full interaction while you're doing all that stuff,
Yep.
while you're doing your search. So, that to me, that's like, okay, that's an inevitability.
Right.
That only makes sense. So I'm curious now, it's like, okay, a whole bunch of people have ChatGPT search free. We can use it to talk and search, which I think a lot of people have been looking for. I'm just waiting it for to get on the desktop. I don't know if anyone else has
Ye
gotten this on the desktop because
that that's my question. It's like, "Hey, I wanna use it in my desktop app. I wanna use it in my browser. I wanna just talk my way through stuff while I'm working on stuff,
yeah,
just background stuff. Search for this." You know,
exactly.
what do you know? And yes, 100% put it on the screen, whatever I'm asking.
Just
And
put
if
on
I'm asking for info, let me see it.
yeah.
Let me see it as well. So, yes, I am hoping for the little, "Oh, yeah, just put the little blue icon in the corner," and
Right.
Here's the
Or
funny
toggle
thing.
it, right?
Yeah,
So that I could say, "No, I'm driving, don't show me."
exactly, or something
yeah,
like that. Yep.
Or, "Yes, I just don't wanna type with my thumbs, but I wanna read the information as you're talking it out."
you know, it's funny too, I've been seeing a lot of, posts and articles about, like, "Hey, how to rank for ChatGPT," and I was like, "Yeah, with voice, it won't matter." Like, I
Yep.
was just like, "I'm not gonna be asking the source, I'm just gonna be asking blah." So, it's very curious to see what the adaptation will be to that because I 'cause I'm sure that's a new I obviously, that
Well,
behavior hasn't been ingrained in everybody yet, but that's just
yeah, well, I'm also, like, in their example, so chat was listing out those 3, questions near the end where he was asking, it's like, "Oh, what about this, this, and
yeah.
this?" Right? These events. Okay, so where does that ranking come from? How is that used? What are the 3 things like most people, I only wanna know what's relevant to me at the top, right? Do I need to go to page 2 of Google? Rarely. When I do
No
a
one
Google
goes to
search.
page 2 of Google, that's not
Right, right,
mm,
yeah,
yeah.
you know, at the fold, I don't even wanna go. So, what are you feeding me? How are you ranking that relevancy? That's some of the behind the scenes things that I would like. It's like, "Oh, we gave you these 3 suggestions because of these reasons." Not that I mean, I don't worry, I appreciate you just giving me the best stuff, but I'd like to know why you gave me those,
Right,
you know?
right. So that sort of brings into, for me, one of the exciting, but also like, ooh, damn kind of things of being able to stay in ChatGPT when you enter the place you want to go in your URL bar. What is that called?
The
Browser
search
bar,
bar. Yeah.
search bar. Um, because that seems like, is that because you changed your default engine, or is that just making that assumption? They said something about changing your default search engine, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you had
they
to
did they did, yeah,
yeah.
I tried it though, and I just unfortunately, from a Google perspective, there's a lot of, qu when you type in something, it's your behavior now, it's like, if I type in the first 2 letters, I know what I want. It's like
Right.
XL or whatever that is,
Autofill, yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
it just autofills, it's like, I wanna go CH, it's like this, or, um, like MV, I wanna go to there's just different places, like, okay, it's already built into my so I don't think it would be
So
tough
that's
to
a
do that.
that's
Yeah.
a Chrome feature? Is that it?
It's a crying feature.
So, it's not giving it up to,
Chrome g one. So
I mean, it's a feature of any of that, what do you call that? Uh, that set, like whether it's WebKit or Chromium or any of those, it has the feature of autofill. Uh, but
right.
but if you look at the settings, it's, "We send your request off and we get back what is the most relevant, information. So if
Right.
you're it really yeah, the Carl, the that depending factor is is your behavior. What
Yes.
behaviors do you have set in?
Yeah.
And what are they trying to train us to do? Because
Yeah.
that was always the big thing about Apple was Apple trains its users to use Apple features.
Correct.
So it looks like chat or it looks like OpenAI is training us to stay within the platform. Now, if they can just figure out that way to make it seamless and, you know, maybe they should rebuild the Chat GPT desktop as the Chat GPT browser, then people will accept it.
I think isn't that that was that was the scuttlebutt, the rumor mill? That's like, right? It's
Yeah.
they're looking it only makes sense to build their own browser because it's like, well, we wanna be able to put everything but do they need to build their own browser? Because it's like, could they build it in ChatGPT entirely?
Well, that's what I'm saying is they just it's a rebranding thing,
Yeah,
right? If you say, "Oh, download the ChatGPT browser," everyone's like, "Oh, and this is how I'll use the internet through
correct,
my
yeah,
ChatGPT," as opposed to saying, "Oh, here's the desktop version, here's the web version." It's
mhm,
all about integrating into that single platform and just staying within the platform. And
yeah.
of course, they want you to have an account. He was saying, it's like, "Oh, you don't need one, but if you want all the best features, you have to sign up for an account." What? And the whole thing with the free, it's like, "No, you're paying with your data." It it's it's
Of course it is.
free in the sense that you're not paying money, but you are paying data, which is more valuable than money now. So,
Yeah. I'm sure most of us already know if you're not, like like if it's free, you are the product. So
yeah.
like right. I think like, social has kind of taught us that. So one thing I also thought too, is if, $200, $20, whatever dollars it is, those spots that are being shown more so from a direct to consumer play. Wow, I'm sure advertisers would be like, "We'll pay you anything to get
Right?
people to advertise.
Oh, yeah.
We'll pay you anything." If this becomes super popular, I'm curious if OpenAI will be it's like because that's what's and it's unfortunate because it's like, that's what's ruining Google, in my opinion. It's like ads everywhere. It's like,
Right.
it's like, it's all ads. So I'm hoping as subscribers, non-free subscriber, like, yeah, like, we're paying 20 or 200 or wherever you're paying, that you do not see ads. Like, I'm just because I'm hoping, and Sam has said that in the past, but I know some of their comments by their CFOs were looking at different pricing tiers, what
Mhm.
it's like too. But you can see as an advertiser, you're like, "Oh my god, the number 1 spot or even below it is such prime real estate," and there's nothing there. There's no real estate there. So I'm curious, but then, get into trust issues and what is
Right.
what is ads, and that's the whole piece, and I
Yeah.
hope I
Because
get
the whole point of adding search
yeah,
is based on whether we trust the search that you're
correct.
feeding
Yeah,
us,
Yeah.
right? And we've seen what's happening with Perplexity as they try to, like, walk that fine line of we are now adding some things that people are paying us to show you. But we're also trying to make sure that you understand that's not actually how we're serving
yes.
the results. But, we've talked about this on the show before, like, you literally have people paying you to show them in the results, and you're also have people paying you to not show just people who are paying you in the results, because that's why we're paying you as a service, right? So,
Yes.
like, it's a super fine line, and you can kill that trust super
Oh,
quickly,
yeah.
and you do not get it back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and, I kinda like Perplexity's ad model, though, it's in the related search. You may or may not go there. You can click it if you want. It's not, like, intrusive. It's not, like, in your face, like, "Oh, shoot." It's, like, in the top bar and stuff, and maybe they'll have to do that as, they need to raise money and so on, but I hope we're in an era we don't have to, um, and Google's kinda has to change that, but
Mhm.
there's so much money in it. There's so many businesses that will pay through the nose just to try to get their things there. But I am hoping as we go into this voice search that when we're actually looking for answers, not just links, then that changes it because when I see the marketers say, "Oh, rank on ChatGPT," it's like, I hope people know that you're gonna get less clicks because it's the answers people are looking for, not necessarily going to somewhere. So you may get some clicks, but not to the degree where you used to get it.
Yeah, I'm sure that that play, get ranked on ChatGPT is definitely a taking advantage of the hype cycle.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, yeah, everybody's talking about ChatGPT. Yeah, we wanna be ranked on there." It's like, "Yeah, sure, but what's the realities? What's
And
the result?"
and how could you know? Because
Yeah,
all 3 of us can literally make the same prompt to ChatGPT and get completely different answers
Completely different things, right?
absolutely.
based on our
Yeah,
history with ChatGPT, but also just, like, what the probability is giving you.
Yeah.
So what is the ranking? How do I determine a ranking?
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, here's our thoughts of the ranking factors." It's like I was like, "No, this you can't look at it that way." It's like, I don't know, it's interesting because I know people have done testing and so it's like, yeah, but you gotta test it against 100 people to see what it is because it's super unique. And if they enable memory, like what we've seen, then it remembers you, and you're super, super tailored to where you're located and all that kinda stuff too. So, like, it's not like you can game this system like Google can be there's a lot of ways that you can ensure that you rank or so on. It's like, no, this is a different you may have to think about it a different way than trying to think back to Lumiere's law, you're trying to think
yeah,
about this new tech as old tech or current tech, and it's different. So you gotta try to pivot
yeah,
in a different manner.
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, and as a side note, this got me thinking to, more vertical integration. If ChatGPT really wants you to be on their platform for everything that you do, having an AI operating system and having, it'll be that layer in multiple places, then and they're talking about, more hardware, creating chips, data centers everywhere. Well, what's to say they stop there? And might as if you're gonna have data centers all over the world, you might as well own all the cabling that connects them together.
Correct, correct, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
So it's easy enough to become your own internet provider at that point, right? So, and what they how many billions do they have now? So couldn't you just buy someone like Spectrum or Frontier or one of the smaller
well,
BIOS companies?
probably could, but I think if you look at it that way, you're buying a business that it's not operating the way I'm always thinking it's like OpenAI kind of is operating kinda quasi in a way that's, like, different, like, from an AI perspective. So, to try to add a business that is not AI native to try to integrate, wouldn't that present a bunch of different issues?
Well, I would say more the purchase was for the physical assets as opposed
Uh,
to the business model, right?
yeah,
Not to say that they couldn't go the cell phone route and it's like, you get a ChatGPT Pro account if you buy this internet provider, you know
Ooh,
like, have subsidized cell phones, you have subsidized, AI access, that's definitely, a way, but that's still more like system one thinking, like you're saying, Carl, but I would just thinking more along of lines of owning the actual cabling, and then that cuts down your cost on processing. Your AI is gonna be routing everything for you for in terms of efficiency and supply chain and things like that. So it's only one step removed, right? It's an actual applied, use of your AI. I always imagined that the AI companies are gonna have the most AI integration. I mean, I could be wrong, but, yeah, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next on that, and I can't wait to see what's gonna happen tomorrow morning as we talk about Daily AI Show Live. So if you've just joined us for this react or the 12 Days of OpenAI, join us Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern for our live show. And for the rest of the week, we will always be back here to talk about the last, what is it, 4 days now, the last 4 days of OpenAI. All right, so we've gotten one step closer. What is everybody's predictions for the rest of the week?
So they said mini dev day tomorrow,
Tomorrow, yep.
which makes me like, does that mean we're not getting Dolly? Like everybody's saying Dolly, 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 and they're like, yeah, no, we're gonna start giving you hints because no, we're not doing Dolly. We're not doing a new model. I don't know.
Well, I think okay, so tomorrow's dev day. I have a like my general just feeling out of nothing based on nothing is, you know, if we're gonna get a new model Wednesday or Friday, then I still think you get a preview of operators. Like
Yes.
to me, I'm just waiting for those two. Uh, like a preview of what like OpenAI's actual agent. I'm still thinking 50-50 on the agent thing, but I do think, and it's been like, I really think the new model will come 1, 2, 3, the biggest bang, maybe the Wednesday. Um, and then maybe Dolly, they'll go 1, 2, 3, Dolly to like
Oh,
really like crescendo it off, right? So Dolly, new model, agents to just finish it off.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's
I
kind of how they
yeah,
began, right? Because we had Pro, we had regular O1, full fat O1, and Pro because 'cause they're full fat skim milk, right? Um, um, we had O1 and O1 Pro. Then we had, like, something about very cool, a demo of, being able to customize, or, create your own mini O1, right? So that you can specialize it, and then we had Sora, so those were, like, big, sorta big, big. We could do that on the back end too, yeah.
yeah. I like what Eric's saying here. It's gonna be a lot of, stocking stuffers for tomorrow with being a mini dev day. That makes a lot of sense. "Oh, you're gonna be able to do this. This is now accessible via API." Those kinds of things. The one stocking stuffer that I want to hear is auto switching of models.
What do you mean auto switching?
Just whatever you're doing. Like, we were talking about how projects doesn't allow you to choose models,
Yeah,
right?
so we can
So
switch.
yeah, so I would like it to, choose the right model for the job.
Yep.
That would solve a lot of the, "Oh, you can't switch the model that you're using." Oh, well, it'll choose the which model to use at the time, or even allow you to switch what models you wanna use.
I'm
Uh,
not convinced they're not doing that anyway.
oh,
I
you
don't think they give us I don't think they give us messages about it. Anthropic says, "Bummer for you, all responses are concise because we're getting a lot of usage." I think OpenAI does that too. They
but
just
this
don't
doesn't tell you.
say, "This message brought to you by 4.0 Mini," because, there's a lot of use. Like, I don't
Sure.
think that happens.
Yeah, that yeah. I mean, I would like, of course, I'm all about transparency, so I'd love to see more of that interaction, more of that information. Um, though it would be nice to know that maybe I can use O1, or my question is like, "No, that's not an O1 question. That's a 4.0 question." Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that's right. It's
actually,
tough
4.0
to
meaning question.
figure
Yeah,
that one out. And I don't know if that's coming necessarily because I think when I was listening to Noah Brown talk about their eventual goal is to merge everything together, so it's one.
yeah,
I think they're still saying it's still like they're still working on trying to ensure that when you say a certain thing, it knows that your reasoning, that your web, and we know that it's not perfect. Like when we say
right.
something, it's like, why didn't you search the web for that versus not searching or yeah, and
Yeah,
then
like, if I don't see the little grayed out searching for web come up, when I'm asking a question, it's like,
yeah,
"No, no, no.
exactly,
Search
exactly.
for," I like, that kinda thing. But it would be interesting as part of the orchestrator, operator, AI announcement,
Yes.
they just release it as a top layer for all ChatGPT interactions. So then it will choose the right model for you, analyze what
Yeah.
you're asking, and then send it off to whatever.
Yep, this becomes trust again, right? So, like, you gotta do it well. Like, if you're
True.
gonna do that, I would love it if you say, "Hey, you only get this many, like, pure, O1 messages, and we don't think that's, like, a real O1 message, so we're gonna give you the 4.0 answer or the O1 mini answer, and then if you want, you could then, like we're trying to save you so that you don't use all your stuff up." Like, that starts to build
Yeah.
trust maybe.
I think a slightly better appro or at least for me, the better approach would be, you get unlimited access if you allow us to control take the wheel, but you get these limited access based upon, whatever your plan is. And I guess that's what Pro is for. Pro is supposed to be all right, people are gonna want a single price to do as much as they want, whatever they want. And that's why they're charging $200 a month.
Right.
But it's like,
But that's the, like, gym at Christmas model, right? Gym at Christmas and New Year's. You're just gonna get a ton of people who are like, "Absolutely. I totally want unlimited. I'm absolutely gonna do this every day." And then by, like, the 2nd week of January, "Yeah, no, I'm just using regular ChatGPT," but maybe they forget. Anyway, any last, thoughts about this? Alright.
well, great. I just wanna see it on my desktop and, web version. I
Yeah.
want voice, text, video, everything, so I don't have to type anymore.
Please give me folders. Just like
Regular folders.
I want regular folders. We're gonna talk about what GPT projects gave you and doesn't give you on Thursday, and we're gonna talk about Gemini and Google's drops tomorrow. All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Aloha.